We will. We will knock it out with our balls out.
Knock it out with our balls out.
Knock it out with our balls out. We're ball playing Aussies. G'day. This is the Two Beards Wrexham podcast, your go-to for all things Wrexham AFC. Join us as we chat about the highs and lows of our favourite footy club. She'll be right, mate. G'day, beard brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and just all-round legends. We're back for another week. The Two Beards Wrexham podcast, your favourite Wrexham podcast, coming at you all the way from down under. We don't have our feet on the ground in Wrexham, but we still like to think we can talk about stuff and have a
Yep.
bit of fun with it.
Stuff.
I'm your host, Rousey. That is Adrian. Right. Yeah, that head is looking shiny as anything today.
Oh, it's just glistening at the moment. I think I've found that when we win, my head just kind of glows like an orb. Like it's just like, oh, we're winning, and it just kind of goes, more of a red color to be like, woo, we did it. I think it's the blood rushing to it, much like what happens with an erection, but just more to my head. But anyways, it was good win on the weekend, mate. I've enjoyed watching us win again.
Do you just use head and erection in the same sentence?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, I was thinking of a different head, but anyway.
That was the
Your,
joke.
your blood
It
goes to
obviously
that
went
head.
over your head.
If your blood goes to that head, you're cracking a fat any day of the week.
That's that. That was, yeah. Anyways, it's gone over your head. Let's continue on.
Oh yeah, you put me straight in the gutter, mate. You just put me straight in the gutter with this
You
one.
are a
I can
garbage
go
man.
every which way possible.
You're a
But
garbage man,
mate.
and you are born in the gutter, and I love you for it. But mate, what a
Is
what a
one of
weekend!
is the garbage man? Is that one of the village people? Who you got? You got the cop, you got the Indian, you got the plumber. I don't know. There should be a
I'm not. I
garbage
wasn't
man.
think. I wasn't thinking like a garbage man, like the bin man who collects your bins. No, I'm talking about you being a garbage human being.
Uh, do you know who I reckon will make a good garbage man?
Who?
Luke Armstrong. Have you? Just-
Fuck. No, no, no way is he just pulling left, right, and center, just some
that
random facts. But all right. Good fun. We won on the weekend. How good? How good?
Oh, okay. That right. We got to talk about Wrexham, don't we? We got to get it
Yeah.
out of the way. We are
Yeah.
digressing too much because
I can
we
see his
really,
eyes are a bit red. When he went to the bathroom before, I'm almost certain he took a bit of the hit of the chuff.
maybe.
Yeah. I figured it was kicking in. That's why he did a half an hour watch party of a YouTube video. And I was like, we need to start this pod. And he's like, just hold on, just hold on. And we kept watching.
Hey,
So
you're lucky it was that one and not some of the shit I post in my Stoners dungeon on the Discord.
I'm real worried where this is going to go with you at this point. So
But
let's get this over and done
hey,
with.
speaking of the Discord,
Oh Lord.
speaking of the Discord, we have lots of fun there, guys. We have a fans only Discord. Um, we call them our fuckheads because we love them, and anyone that we like, we tend to pull the piss out of. So there are our fuckheads. If you want to become part of that, have exclusive access to me and Adrian, as well as talk within a community of like-minded Wrexham people. Um, the base tier will cost you $5 a month. And not only does that get you access to the Discord, it gets you free ad ad-free access every single week early to the podcast, gets you discount off our merch store and access to our giveaways in the Discord. So get on that.
Love it.
Become
Love
a
it, mate.
fuckhead.
Look, the
Oh,
people.
and shout outs every week.
Oh, there he is. You gotta, God, just the professionalism from him. I love it. Love it. Hitting that bong real good before an episode. Let's go with who have to put up with that on a week basis in the Discord. We got some amazing individuals who are executive producers who pay that little bit extra to help us get to Wrexham. For those who don't know, all of this all of this program is purely to get us to Wrexham. No other fee, nothing else. It's literally goes in a little kitty, and we hope for the best. By November 2025 next year, our projection is that we will have tickets and we will be there ready to go with you guys. And that's all thanks to David, Bryant, Welsh Techie, Anthony, and Sarah. Beautiful humans paying the ultra fuckhead Plus, we also have a Fuckheads Plus membership, which is $10, and then our regulars, which is a $5 tier, which we want to say thank you to our Fuckheads, Aaron, Andy, Will, Chris W, John, Anthony R, Deandra, Mark, Drew, Neb, Ryan, Jake, Vincent, Benjamin, and Rousey and myself. So, we're pretty lucky. We got a really good bunch of individuals, and it's just great during the game, to be honest, to talk about it, because I don't know about you guys, but especially for us being on the other side of the world, it's kind of hard when you finish watching a game. You're like, that was amazing. And you're buzzing and you're like, fuck, where do I go to post it? That's where the Discord comes in.
I know where I go after a game.
To the gutter. Straight to the gutter, Chief.
No, out the back. At the table out the back. I take my
I bet you go out the back.
Exactly what I did on the weekend. It was great. It was a great game to watch. What a statement. What a statement. Don't you think?
Yeah.
You look like you want to say something.
No, I'm just laughing at you. I said, I bet you went up the back. You're like, it's exactly what I did, and I loved it. Like, you were just like,
oh no, you stitched me up. You
stitched you right up, Chief. Anywho,
you led me down that path and completely stitched me up on that one.
Just let you keep going, Chief. That's your own doing, and we do what we can do. But look, it was a good win. It was a very good win. 4-1. Insane. Like, I'm pretty happy that we put up a pretty good score up against Northampton. Got me
to say to the internet, I love going up the back.
This is not. Yeah. Look, this is not an episode of this is. We need to start again. This is horseshit. But look,
let's talk about the game. Let's actually get this back on track, because we are a Wrexham podcast, and we do have to talk about Wrexham.
I was trying to, mate, but I have a co-host here who has no fucking idea.
All right, I tell you what. Let's do this after the break.
Oh,
let's get in it.
That's how he gets you.
Let's talk about the game on the weekend. Let's talk about the state of affairs. Don't think it's going to be a long one this time, but we'll get into it anyway. See you after the break. Woo! Welcome back. All right, I promise you, now we are back on track. We've had our fun. We are going to review the Northampton game, which was amazing. It was a statement of intent from us.
Whenever we win, you're just like, it is a statement win. And you know what? It was very good.
We were the only team in League One, or across most of the leagues, on the weekend that scored 4. So, and to have that, and to now be at the top of the table, well, not at the top, second on the table, but with the biggest goal difference, that's later on in the season, that is going to really, really do us well. Is really going to do as well. We're 10 games in, so this is where the barometer is. This is where the league is now. 10 games in, and we know where we're at. It's what happens from here on out is going to be very, very interesting. But we want to discuss this Northampton game a little bit more in depth, mate. We had 2 goals from Magic Man James McClean. We had a goal from my boy Elliot Lee, which was just smile and boner inducing. And we had a goal from Jack Marriott as well. Yeah, Mr. Marriott, bag me another.
No, anywho, let's keep talking.
I'm your home.
Oh Lord!
Now,
so we had a very good run. Yes, the goals are a bit out of order there. We've got obviously when McClean at the 8-minute mark, we went 1-0 up. We're looking pretty commanding. It was great to see McClean kind of. There's a lot of chatter on the internet, and I think it's mainly from external fans. There's only a handful of Wrexham fans who are talking shit about McClean, but everyone within the four walls loves him. Everyone within the Wrexham community loves him so much. So for us to go up as quickly as we did was quite exciting. But when the 27th minute hit and Cameron McGeehan scored for Northampton, what were you thinking, and why was it no panic stations? Because I think it can be quite normal, I think, away from home for that, when that happens, to be a little bit more, this might turn here. What were you thinking when we went to 1-1?
I wasn't worried at all. I knew we'd get that one back. It was still early days, and
But
it
what made
was
you think that? Like, regardless of the time frame, what made you kind of confident that we were going
because
to?
they very, very rarely had ascendancy over us, other than maybe the first 10 minutes. Like, whilst we were trying to get it figured out, they did not look a threat at all. Um, the goal they scored, even, I think it might have been against the run of play a little bit. But yeah, it just wasn't worried about them after that. After they scored that one, I think I predicted 3-1.
You did. Very
I,
close. And
I thought,
I predicted 2-1. So we knew that we were going to be conceding. I think both of us walked into this game going, you know what? After the last couple games, it probably seems about right to concede one. But I think we both were pretty confident we'd win. I was in the same boat. I think when Marriott was getting on top of it again, being who he is, which is just a menace on the ball. Like, I feel bad for Paul Mullen, because I'm not thinking anytime soon he's starting, because Marriott's just got this got this form at the moment that I'm really, really enjoying. But something to mention off of the back of what the big scoreline was, you mentioned that Northampton didn't really have the ascendancy, and I reckon that was true to a fact. But what's something that really surprised me is that when I looked at the stats after the game, was shots were actually very close. We had 15 shots, they had 14. Shots on target was 8 for us, 6 for them. So look, off of that, you'd go, it was pretty neck and neck. If you haven't watched the game, you haven't seen that. But you're right, there was a way we played that kind of felt, like we had the majority of play. Yes, the possession we had was 59% versus 41%. That's not really normal from us this year. Usually we like to win from having, fuck all possession and just kind of banging them in. But it was good to see that. How did you feel the boys played on the ball, especially, getting such a large scoreline? What did you think?
look, I think it was really, really good to actually see Dan Scar and what he's going to bring to the table. Because my God, he looks good. A ready-made replacement. Obviously, they moved O'Connell over and put Scar in the middle, but then they brought Brunty on as well. Now, Brunty is a ball player. He loves playing on the ball, and I'll tell you what, he looked pretty impressive. He made a few plays, passed it through to George Dobson, which is exactly what he was instructed to do. At times getting it off to Elliot Lee as well, who played a phenomenal game. It was a great team performance all around. And honestly, I mean, I want to get to Barney in a second, but the whole team was just singing the same song. That Palmer and Marriott front just seems to work.
It works. It's not something you're looking to change anytime soon.
Yeah.
And something I want to call out in the forums or the fucking Twitter sphere or whatever the fuck, the amount of times I've seen people say, oh, but if we change the formation, we could have Mullen in there as well and then get him some minutes. That's not how we've played. It's not how we've ever played. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, that's, you can't adapt, or, it's a one-trick pony. But if it works, it works.
Well, I mean, there was obviously last weekend where they actually left Marriott on and then brought on Fletcher and Mullen at the same time. But that's because we were down and we were going into an
Correct.
all-out attack.
Correct. It's throwing balls to the wall. That's a bit different. I'm talking about just regular starting lineup. You can adjust throughout the game as much as you like. I'm talking about starting with something and going in with a game plan. And Parky's always gone in with the same game plan. And a lot of people have, shat on him for it and said, oh, he'll get found out. He'll get found out. But at this point, yes, we've dropped a couple games, but really, this is some clean football, and we've had people like McClean shine, close to man of the match if it wasn't for our mate Barney. And, Lee played extraordinary. I'm even just looking at the FOTMob ratings just on my phone here, and I know that I love going into this because it's so funny how our perceptions are different than what, I guess, the stats might say. For example, Barney was, for me, best on. I don't know about you, but I think he was best on. The 2 assists, but they had McClean at 9.1 at versus.
Didn't he get 3, not 2? He got 3.
3 assists?
Yeah, he assisted almost every single goal.
Nah, he got 2 assists.
Okay. They must have
it doesn't mean he wasn't a part of the play. An assist means that he was the last person to touch it before it went there, but it possibly, looking at, if I think I know the goal you're talking about, but
yeah, because you had the first goal, you had Jack Marriott. You had the cross to.
He created all chances. All 4 chances were created by him. It even mentions it here. But an assist has to be off of his boot to the striker who scores or the person who scores. That's the 2 that he got. So technically he's only the 2. But yeah, 4 chances created in that. I had him as man of the match, but FOTMob had McClean there. I guess it's a bit biased to people who score. I still think McClean was out of this world, but what Barney did to create 4 chances, 2 assists, I mean, I don't have to say much else. If you've watched the footage, if you haven't watched the footage, go to Wrexham's Twitter page, whichever. They've got little clips and bits and pieces that you can watch over and over. That was the best I've seen Barney play in a red shirt. What do you think?
Oh, 100%. Dude is on fire, and I'd back it. I'm glad he got chosen as man of the match. It really could have gone to quite a few people. It could have gone to McClean because he did score a brace. It could have gone to Elliot Lee, who was also involved in just absolutely everything and breaking lines and plays like all left, right, and center. And then obviously Barnett just had the run of the wing all day long. It was sexy football. It was very sexy football.
That is the best definition I've heard this week. It was sexy football because so many people, lambast us for not playing attacking style of play. Well, we're now got the best goal difference in the league, and we put 4 past, former League 2 champions, who, I'd like to say are a year ahead of us in their development, but obviously different financial situations, all that bullshit. But It is really good to get that from home. Northampton, I know a lot of people thought we'd walk over them, and I know we kind of did, but a lot of respect to them because to put it 1 against us at home, I mean, it's good on them for doing that and putting us a bit under the pump, especially in that first half. But once we got that second one in, it was just kind of all sails were pointing towards a win there. So I was really happy with it, mate. I'm talking about it a lot because it's nice to not have to be looking at the negative as much. Yes, okay, we conceded and, possibly we could have manned the back post a little bit better, but let's not focus on that this week. Let's focus on what is so special about this side, which is we haven't even tried everyone yet. We haven't even tried everyone yet. We haven't played Mullen up front. We haven't let Marriott have a form slump yet. If he was to get in a form slump and Mullen came in, I guarantee you'd see him fire again, like what he did last season. You've got Claire to come back from injury later on. I know he played an integral role at the start here, but when he comes back, that's just going to be something great. And then we've got Mo in the wings, going to probably play the cup game middle of the week. I'm telling you straight up, I'm excited about that kid. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we should be getting game time and all that shit. He's got time. He's young. The attackers we're playing at the moment are, 28 to 32. They're in that bracket. Give them a go first because this might be their last chance.
Yeah, I mean, like we obviously through circumstance we got to obviously see Brunt take in Cleworth's position when he came on, and I actually thought he was quite calm on the ball and showed a lot of skill.
Oh, taking O'Connell's position. Yeah.
Showed a lot of skill, showed a lot of calmness. Just all round great ball player, and I think maybe he doesn't he probably lacks the nuance that Cleworth has in that position. What I mean by that is obviously Cleworth's been in that position for quite some time. He's cemented that position. The team knows him. He knows what the team needs, and Brunt's still probably getting up to speed with that. But he looked really good. He really did look good, and I was quite impressed with Brunt on the weekend. And same with Scar. I'm ready to watch those guys go at it and have a bit of fun. I tell you what, it was just so good to come away with a really good, solid win after having a couple of weeks where our form was slightly off. And this is what I was actually banging on about the whole bloody time, is that we were off form. We weren't on our form. We weren't, and I don't think it was other teams were even making us play off form. It was just the fact that we weren't quite there.
Oh, brother, no. Don't backtrack, Chief. It is. We played Northampton. Okay, I just gave him a bunch of credit, but look, where are they sitting on the table right now? Oh,
that'd be relegation, wouldn't they?
Yeah, just above the spot of relegation. So calm your farm. I totally get what you're saying. We were off form, but 100% people like Birmingham played us off the park. Stevenage played us off the park. These are people who put us in those positions. We cannot digress from that at all. We have had games, especially even the draw against Leighton, that you have to kind of concede that when a team finds you out and makes you play that way, it's not just we played poorly that day. It was, no, we were pushed to that. Yes, we can be out of form as well, but you have to give some credit to the opposition.
Yeah, absolutely. But no credit to Northampton, no credit to Birmingham. Fuck Birmingham, bunch of cunts. But anyway, and yes, come at me, Birmingham fans in the chat, because I'm all for it.
And Birmingham fans, I apologise for him because, we all should be, we're all going for the same thing here. We're all going for promotion.
Hey,
let's not force a rivalry. Let's not force a rivalry like other teams have done in the past.
I've got the double hate because I was a Coventry boy for 4. So there's that double hate there.
And I'm sure you've just increased the double hate when you talk turncoats. But when Birmingham like, so he switched teams, did he? Fucking fuck that guy. But no, look, I think the big thing here, mate, is we're all going for the same thing. What I think is quite interesting is Mansfield have done really, really well. Something that,
all the teams that have come up from League 2 have done well.
Well, Stockport's
starting to fall apart though.
I mean, let's ease up on saying fall apart. They're 6th, so that's not really falling apart, Rouse. They are 6th, and they're sitting with 4 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss. So they've only lost once. We've lost twice. So technically, we're falling apart. But you got to give them some credit there. Wickham's sitting in 5th. Lincoln is sitting in 4th, and we know that game has been postponed due to the amount of internationals they have actually playing that round, which is good on them. We have one. We have our Jacob Mendy, who's not even in the starting lineup at the moment, and he's playing for Gambia. So good luck for that during the week, Jacob, or next week. Sorry. And then Mansfield sitting in 3rd with 9 wins. 9 wins, 9 played, 6 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, and they're just below us when we're sitting in 2nd with 10 played, 6 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. All it does take is the games in hand. So Lincoln, Mansfield, even Wickham, and we could be sitting just above Stockport in fifth. So it is something to kind of keep a perspective. We do have a game we've played an extra game, and everyone else has a game in hand against us. So something to kind of think about when we talk about like what Stockport's going through at the moment is we are probably in a similar boat to them. We had a form slump of a couple games and dropped some points. So yeah, probably going to be looking like we'll be close to them in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
Once it's all caught up.
I think
But
I think we're onto something. I think if we can keep this momentum going, I'm a bit worried about the 2 week break. But that's because coming from a Dockers supporter who never does well after having a break in the bye week. So I get worried because I just feel it stifles your momentum a little bit. And so I am worried, especially when we're going to go from that straight into a Rotherham game. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one.
no, you've got a point. I think it does give us, a stop in momentum, but really we haven't. If it was, let's just say before the Birmingham game, and we had that, I'd be a bit more concerned because we really did have a good run of form and stringing a lot of points together there. We've only really strung 3 points. So like that I'm not too worried about. The team we get to play again this week against Wolverhampton and the bullshit trophy where they play their under 21s. So we really get to play around with that.
Is it the Bristol Street Motors? Yeah, it's Bristol Street Motors.
Bristol Street Brothel. I don't know. One of them.
Brothel. Let's bring that one back. It's the Bristol Street Brothel.
That's the Bristol Street Brothel trophy. Wow, that's a hard thing to say.
There's a Macca's on Bristol Street. I think even there might be a pet shop. Maybe an Aldi as well.
What has that got to do with anything? It's so good. I think there's a pet shop.
Well, they could have just called it the Bristol Street Pet Shop mode, like instead of Bristol Street Motors. Some used car dealership is like getting gobbies off in the back.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like it does kind of speak volumes of the fucking trophy that is that Bristol Street. It's like they've gotten a sponsor that really, is half-assed. So they've just gone, fuck it, just slap something on it and send the under 21s out. The other teams will be knocked out anyways. She'll be right. But but if we won this trophy, I would say the opposite.
Bristol Street Motors cheap cars on sale for finance. I'm actually on their webpage at the moment because I'm curious.
I don't think you are, mate. I think you're on the Bristol Street Brothels website. And it might say cheap or used.
There's a few Bristol Street Motors around the old UK. I tell you what, there is absolutely none in Wales, but they're all over England.
But as I said, I'm going to shit on this league until we win it. And then if we win it, then I'll be like, holy fuck, this league is so elite. It's one of those things where I just hate this league so much, but it'll just come back to bite me if we were to win it. Cause I'm like, I'll just be the opposite. I'll be like, I've always said this league is elite. It is one of the best leagues in the world. It's better than winning the Champions League straight up. Like it's so good.
I love this league. I love this league. But yeah, we got the Wolverhampton under 21s. What do we see happening?
Oh, it's a good question. 2-0 Wrexham. I don't think we concede. I think hold on. Just double checking. Yeah, we are at home. I don't think we concede.
I've got a notion. I think we're going to play a strong team because it's of the break and we need to keep our minutes into this. I think so. I think our team will actually be quite strong with a splintering of players that need minutes.
I think that's correct. Like Mo Fowl would be one, Rathbone.
Brunt will play. Scar will play.
Probably
Mullen
start.
will play. But it'll still be a strong team because they need to obviously keep that. They want to keep that momentum going from the weekend, and so I predict it'll be a strong team, and I reckon it'll be a 4-0, 5-0 thumping.
Well done. All right. Decide 4-0, 5-0.
69.
Got to pick one, mate.
All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm going to say we're playing at home, aren't we?
Yes.
I'm going to say 5-0. If we
Cool.
put out a strong team, it'll be 5-0.
I think it'll be 2-0 because we can't underestimate these the under 21s. Sometimes they're Premier League teams, well, Premier League future stars in the wings. So they're going to have a good side. I think you're right though. I think we will play a pretty strong side. I think we will dominate. I think it'll be something, that we can look back on and go, wow, that was pretty cool. But I don't know if we'd put too much ahead of them. It'd be great. I want your score more than my score, straight up. If you get 5-0, I'll be celebrating way more if we got that than if we got the 2-0. But in the 2-0, I'm just thinking purely off of the fact that they're going to try new things as well. Yes, they might play a strong side, but they may try new things. They may try, especially Mo Farah up front, how rusty he might be after a couple of weeks. It really depends. So for me, I'm just sticking with a safe 2-0. I like the 5-0 though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, everyone's busting a nut over Mo Farah, but then you had a contingent when he last played and actually got on the field that weren't that impressed with him. Um,
Can I
I know
find
we
that?
had
Was
this.
that the
We
game that
actually
he
had
played
this
like
chat at the
4
time.
fucking minutes?
Exactly, exactly. So I'm interested to see more, and see, maybe he can prove some of the doubters wrong. Um, Definitely, I'm keen on seeing more Lewis Brunt, more Dan Scar. Um, yeah, and Elliot Lee. I just want to touch base on Elliot Lee and touch Elliot Lee. Um,
Yeah.
how good was he on the weekend? Like, he was involved in everything. He was just a man on a mission on the weekend, and I know he didn't get the man of the match, but my gosh, he was looking really good. I think he put quite a few of the doubters to bed on that one. You can put them to
Yeah.
bed, but
I mean, he played pretty well. I think he played like he played the way we would want Elliot Lee to play. I don't think he was as outstanding as a McClean or a Barney, but I think he definitely played his role, and that's the point. We don't need him to be doing flashy shit. We just need him to be um, being precise and as concise as he can be, which he was on the weekend, and obviously scoring as well was something that, yeah, you like you said, shoved it in the face of the people who are like, oh, he's off, he's off, he's off. Well, yeah, okay, you can be off form, but form is fleeting. It can go up and down in matter of games. It just depends on the week. You could have a flu, you could have a good week, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just form is fucking relative. It really annoys me because yes, we can talk about when a team outplays you and shuts down a player, but when that happens, is it necessarily the player's fault? No, it's because they've watched tapes on the bloke fucking week in, week out, ready to stop him. And I don't think Northampton did that. I think they just went, oh, yeah, we'll just mark him and it'll be fine. And then he kind of ran a bit of a muck. So it was really good to see. Really good to see.
true. All right. Well, look, not much to talk about on this podcast this week. It's all rosy, all dandy, all fine. Um, After this, we're just going to wrap things up. We're going to have a bit of shit chat. So hang around if you want to experience how,
If you want.
yeah, if you want to see how dark this shit can get. I don't think it will. I think it'll be fine. We're just going to close things out and see where we're going to go with it. After this, woo. Well, that is it for another week of the Two Beards Wrexham podcast. Comes to an end. This is the time of the show we just like to just have a bit of a chit chat and see what's going on with life. See what's going on. I was humbled to get a bit of a shout out on the Rob Ryan Red show last week. The boys over there, Nathan Rich, stay tuned. I'm hoping that something happens there, but they jumped all over the post I did with the FC25 player likenesses. So that was fucked, man. That was fucked. But hey, they put it on and it was good. And so cheers for the shout out from Ryan Red. Um, but yeah, what an interesting week it is. I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself
I know what
for
you're going to do
two
with
weeks,
yourself,
man.
Chief.
No game on the weekend. That's like end of season and all over again.
Yeah, it's a big gap because like we've got obviously the Wolverhampton game, and then I'm going off of the Australian dates here, so bear with. But like, Wednesday the 9th of October, we go from that to the next game being the Sunday the 20th of October, which would be like which would be the Saturday for everyone else, obviously. But so that's fucked. Like that's a long amount of time without some Wrexham games. What's that? 11 days. So it'll be a rough little patch, but I think it'll be good for maybe for the content creators, maybe as well, just to take a step back. There were a lot of games just being jam packed in there for a little bit, so it's it might give ourselves a little bit of breathing space. But look, I'm excited. There's the internationals coming up. We've got Australia playing in Adelaide. So as you guys know, I'm a Melburnian who's living in Adelaide at the moment, and we have the Socceroos coming to town on Thursday night, and they play China. So it'll be good to see the new coach, Tony Popovich. I know that our mate over here, Rousey, is not so convinced. I like to reserve judgment till the games have actually been played, but Rousey might have a point. Do you want to go into what you think about it?
What about Tony Popovich?
Yeah.
Fuck off. It's horrible. Where I do not see Australia getting been to the World Cup. I just look.
And I would have completely agreed with you, but we went to a World Cup and got to our furthest stage with Graham Arnold, who I didn't rate at all as a coach. And we, beat Denmark and got to a round of 16 against Argentina, which, other nations would kill for.
Has the England football team announced a coach yet? I don't think they have. They still have a caretaker, don't they? I don't think anyone really cares.
Genuinely don't give a shit. So,
well, hey, I wanted to do something just to educate our Wrexham listeners on the game of Aussie rules football. So this is going to be putting you on the spot here. I have a quiz. All right, quiz based on Geelong Football Club.
Yeah,
seeing as you're a Geelong fan.
Yeah.
And next week, I'll probably do it on Wrexham for you, but I want to just sort of ask you a few multiple choice questions just to close out the show before we end. And it's all based on Geelong Football Club.
Sounds good.
Why are we doing Geelong Football Club on a Wrexham podcast, you might ask? Well, it's because we ain't got shit to talk about. And I want to educate our viewers on the Australian football.
Love it. All right, mate. Go for it. I'm ready. I got Wrexham on my left arm tattooed, and then I've got Geelong on my right arm. So
I'm gonna
ready to go.
A little score sheet out here. We'll see how many of these questions you get.
Also, is Me the Wife and Wrexham going to sue you?
Possibly.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Possibly. I'm hoping the 20 bucks I sent him on the weekend for beers will
suffice.
I'm not stealing their content here.
He is definitely stealing their content.
All right. Okay, here we go. Mr. Hodgie.
What's up?
What is the name of Geelong's mascot?
Half cat.
Slamming Sam Tomcat, Jamming Joel Tomcat, Curly Corey Black Cat, or Groovy Gary Smelly Cat?
So you're talking about the one that was made by the AFL is slamming Sam Tomcat or whatever the fuck his name is on that, slamming whatever. But his real name for those Geelong fans who are proper is Half Cat because he was half cat. He was that was it. So slamming Sam.
Okay, all right.
Educating you on your quiz.
All right. Who is Geelong's all-time games record holder? Corey Enright, Sam Newman, Joel Selwood, or Jimmy Bartel?
So in that list, this is not an up-to-date list because that is Joel Selwood on that list, but in real life, it's Tom Hawkins surpassed it this season. So it was Joel Selwood, and there was a big thing with Geelong. I'm not trying to poke holes in your quiz here, but it's just, yeah, it was Joel Selwood, and now it is Tom Hawkins.
All right, then. Well, based on Joel Selwood, what year did he take over as captain?
What year? It was the year after the 2011 flag because Cameron Ling retired, so 2012.
Oh, man on fire. All right, here we go. Who is Geelong's all-time leading goal scorer or goal kicker?
Yeah, I got it already.
Gary Ablett Sr., Tom Hawkins, Steve Johnson, or Gary Ablett Jr.? I think I know the answer to this one.
Yeah, Gary Ablett Sr.
Yeah.
He was literally called God. Like, people would watch football who didn't even care about Geelong to watch Gary Ablett Sr. play. That's how good he was. He would kick 13, 14 goals in a game. And just for the listeners who don't know about AFL, to kick even 5 goals in a game is huge. And this guy was kicking, 13, 14.
Damn. All right. Where else do Geelong train besides Cardinia Park? Richmond Oval, Barker's Oval, Corio Oval, or Deakin University Elite Sports Precinct?
This one's going to be a hard one because I'm pretty sure Deakin was used at one point, but Corio Oval was the original home ground for the Geelong Football Club before Cardinia Park, like in the early 1800s. I would have said Deakin, but I'm going to settle on Corio because I just feel like it's probably wrong still.
Okay. All right. We'll have all the answers at the end. Don't you worry. Who was the last Geelong player? Who was the last Geelong player who was the last to win a Norm Smith medal? Corey Enright, Gary Ablett Jr., Joel Selwood, or Jimmy Bartell?
Is it the last one out of those people or the last one?
The last one out of those people.
Out of those people would have been the 2011 grand final. So there would have been Jimmy Bartell.
Okay.
Because we won one in 2022, but Isaac Smith's not on that list, and Isaac Smith was the last Geelong North.
Here's one I expect you to know.
Yeah.
Because he's a fellow bald head, and he's got one hell of a bald head. My God. If you guys want to know what Gary Ablett Jr. looks like and his bald head, he's got probably the baldest of bald heads.
The shiniest head.
Oh,
the shiniest.
All right. What was Gary Ablett Jr.'s former jumper number at Geelong?
Yep.
Was it 29, 19, 5, or 4?
29. His former one. He retired in the number 4 because when he came back, Cam Guthrie was in number 29 and he didn't want to take that number away from him. So yeah, 29 Gary Ablett, and then he retired on number 4.
Right, I'm not giving you a multiple choice on this one because I expect you to know this.
Do it.
What year was the Geelong Football Club formed?
Oh, shit. 1859?
Okay, we'll go with 1859. That is on there. You might be on something.
It's either that or 57, but I want to say 1859.
All right, now, who was the last Geelong player to win a Brownlow medal?
I know this one. Do you want me to say without the multiple?
Go on.
Paddy Dangerfield.
Paddy Dangerfield. What a player.
He was an absolute ledge. He still is a ledge. He's the captain of the club now. And I know people are listening being like, what the fuck is happening right now? But you got to understand that I'm geeking out here because this is like my two passions is Wrexham and Geelong. So the fact that this is in an episode makes this my favorite episode.
Who am I?
Ben Graham.
Ben Graham.
Yep.
Okay.
He once kicked a 90, was it 90 meters? It's definitely 87 meters or some shit. He kicked a torp from like the middle of the ground, got a point instead of a goal, but he kicked it from the middle of the field, torped it, and it went just fucking flying. And it's one of the biggest kicks in the AFL. Yeah, Ben Graham.
All right.
Fun fact for our Americans, sorry. Ben Graham went on to be a kicker for the New York Jets, Arizona Cardinals, and the Detroit Lions. Fun fact.
I can tell you got 8 out of 10 correct.
What was the Corio one would have been wrong.
Okay. All right. So you got Slam and Sam Tomcat.
Yep.
The all-time games record holder was Corey Enright.
Oh, this list you've got here is old. So Joel Selwood surpassed it in 2022.
Okay.
Then Tom Hawkins surpassed it this season. So where's Corey Enright, Joel Selwood, Tom Hawkins? So 100% on that quiz when it was made in 2020, I imagine, or 2021, that would be correct. But currently, going to call you out.
All
It is
right.
definitely
All right.
Tom Hawkins.
Don't call me out. Call the fucking list out. Jesus.
Call
All
the
right.
list out.
And where else do Geelong train besides Cuddy?
It would be Deakin.
It was Deakin.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was Deakin because they're no longer at Deakin anymore. They train at the St Mary's Oval next to it, but I couldn't remember when that list would have been done. I was like, shit, was it Cryo back then or was it? But anyways,
right. Next one we do will be a Wrexham one.
I love it, mate.
All right. So do your research during the week because I'm going to make a Wrexham quiz for you just to test your.
Fuck, Paul. Me, the wife, and Wrexham will have a lawsuit at your door before this episode even airs, mate. Like, you are Ryan, if you're listening, Sean, if you're listening,
Ryan, if you're listening, I hope your view on Elliot Lee changed, mate. I really do.
Oh, he's calling out. Jesus H. I was just going to apologize, but this guy's trying to throw punches. Okay, all right. But dude, thank you for that. That was very cool. And I'm so sorry for geeking out there. I fucking love both of the Wrexham Football Club and the Geelong Football Club. So to have both of those in the one.
Have to have some form of content because let's face it, they fuck all content today.
But this week, especially when we've got no big game leading up other than Wolverhampton in the fucking Bristol Brothel Trophy.
The Bristol Brothel Trophy. Here we go. There we go. All right.
That's a good way to round it out.
It is a good way to round it out. Guys, become a fuckhead. $5 a month. Links will be in the description down below. Get on it. If you want us to shout out or read a comment live on the pod, then give us a super thanks and put in your comment and we will read it on next week's podcast. Loads of little things like that. Have a bit of fun. We should have an interesting episode for you next week. I'm trying to line something up. If it's not interesting, well, fuck. But, you know. So.
I'm trying to line up something interesting, but if not, well, fuck. And I think that's what the episode next, if we don't, okay, we have to do it because I feel like it needs to be done. If we don't get the guest, I know who you're talking about and what you're trying to do. If we don't get the guest you normally thought we had planned, we will call the episode "Well, fuck," because
and just commit bloody podcast suicide with the YouTube algorithm. Last time we swore on the algorithm, we got lost for weeks.
Did we get shadow banned? It was
we got shadow banned, mate.
You couldn't even search us up anymore because they just took us off.
Yeah.
But we would bleep it out. So we would do like, oh, mate, who knows? My point is, we would just say well instead of well, fuck it would just be well.
Dot. Yeah. Oh shit. Well, look, let's end this. This has gone well and truly off the rails. I got shit to do. You got shit to do. I'm sure our listeners got shit to do. Everyone's got shit to do, and the freaks have got to go rub one out, I think. Like me. No, not me. I'm going to. I need a girlfriend. I really need a girlfriend.
That's a call out, fans, listeners, whatever.
Do you think I should put myself out there and start dating again?
Yes. Because then you'll stop texting me the nudes, you know? It'll then mean you can just send them to someone who really appreciates it.
Dude, I send you messages and you don't respond anyway. So
that's what I'm saying.
You emoji
stop
react.
After the nudes.
You emoji react and that's it. You're, oh yeah, I'll just give you an emoji react. I'm like, hey, so we're going to be recording at this time. And then it's like,
he's like, see you tomorrow. He messages saying, see you tomorrow at 6:30. What am I supposed to go? Will do, Rousey. Gonna be a fun one. Thumbs up. Like, I'm just like, no worries, 100%. Like, I'm there. What the fuck do you want me to say?
Like the most disinterested. Oh, fucking Rousey. Just 100%. Yeah, I'll be there.
I just don't know what he wants me to say. I think it's your age showing here, mate.
No.
Like I think you just you know you don't like a good react. I'll stop with the reacts and I'll go over the top for you too.
I
Like
just want
full
you to,
on
mate.
gargle your balls, mate.
I
It'll
just want you
be
to
great.
jiggle my nibblies a little bit. Just
That's
jiggle
what
my
I'm
nibblies
saying.
a little bit,
So
and
the
you'll be
next
right.
time it'll be like we're recording tomorrow at 6:30. I'm like, Rousey, I've never looked forward to something more in my life.
I think I
Honestly,
would
it
cry if
goes
you did
this
that.
episode and this message you just sent me, my wedding. That is the ranking of how excited I am right now.
I will. I would be like, it'll be my kid's birth all over again. I
Just
would cry. I would cry if you responded to me, mate. I was like, but hey, look, I know I'm ripping the piss out of you a little bit, but it's all in good fun. We do actually talk off the podcast,
all the time.
not all the time, but all
All the
no,
fucking time.
guys. Like, share, subscribe, and share this episode. We are the Two Beards Wrexham podcast. Rousey and Adrian coming at ya. We'll see you next week. Roll the fucking credits. Woo!